Warning. Warning.
Facebook stock is in danger. This is why you might want to consider selling out of your shares of Facebook.
Let's talk about it.
What is going on? Welcome to the Flaming Profits YouTube channel, where we teach you how to become a more profitable investor in the stock market. Our dedication to you is teaching you the strategies that you need to know in order to amass huge profits in the stock market. There is no point in investing if you're not realizing your profits through your gains in the stock market. So that is our dedication to you. If this is a topic that interests you, stock market investing, how to improve your financial life, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you do not miss out on any of our amazing videos. How does 2 free stocks sound to you? Well, WeBull is going to give you 2 free stocks as soon as you sign up. You definitely do not want to miss out on this opportunity. Robinhood will give you 1 more, so there you go, 3 free stocks absolutely for free. M1 Finance is going to give you $10, so now you have 3 free stocks and $10. And then drumroll please, the $50 sign-up bonus for the Discover Secure credit card. This is a card I use every day, and they're going to give you $50 as soon as you sign up. All the links are in the description. Alright, so Facebook is a stock that I have created a lot of expertise in this company. This is a stock that I recently took a $4,000 profit just recently, and I made a video about it if you want to check that out. But yeah, this is a stock that I study heavily. I take the time to study and hear all of the conference calls that they have, and that has allowed me to create a very good sense of how the business works and what they're working on. This was the video where I took the $4,000 profit. Right before this one, I took a $1,000 profit trading UDOW. As the stock market sold off, I started buying heavily. And then once we started getting good news regarding the economic situation that we're in right now, I sold for $1,000 profits. So there goes $5,000. And this is Facebook stock. Let me show you the position that I had. The last one where I sold, I had a market position for about $20,000. I was using margin for this position, but let me show you my sell order for this stock. Alright, so here it is. So yeah, about 78.21 shares. So it was a lot of money. It was about $23,000, but I did use margin, so a lot of that was used to pay back the money that I borrowed for this position. But it allowed me to bring in $4,000 in profit, so definitely worth it. And let's talk about what's going on with Facebook now. So right now it's trading about 273. I sold all of my shares when the stock was trading at 295. I knew that it was hitting a max on its chart and it was bound to go down in value pretty soon, and it did. So right now it's trading around this price, and right now Facebook has come across a very difficult situation. They're in a huge dilemma right now with the actual US government. So this is a pretty big deal for Facebook, and I'm really curious what's gonna happen in this situation. It really does freak me out and worry me about Facebook. So basically, I'll go ahead and discuss it in detail, but basically the government basically wants to separate the Facebook platform. So in case you didn't know, Facebook owns Instagram, Facebook owns WhatsApp, and Facebook owns the Facebook platform, obviously, and they also own Oculus, which is virtual reality. They're one of the leaders in virtual reality, in case you didn't know, and they're still working on that. But basically, the point that they're trying to make is that they're creating a sort of a monopoly in the social media industry, even though Facebook claims they don't, because Snapchat is a competitor, so is Pinterest. But what's weird is the government actually approved the purchase of WhatsApp, so it doesn't really make sense, and Instagram as well. So it doesn't make sense why they would want to separate the companies now for something that they actually approved. One of the reasons why I love Facebook stock is it's always uptrending, as you saw. It's a company that always tends to make higher highs. So no matter what, whenever you buy the stock, you're usually going to make a profit. I mean, always do your own due diligence when it comes down to investing in the stock market, but you do have to keep that in mind, that it's much easier to make money in stocks that are uptrending than downtrending stocks, because they tend to go higher up in value, just like Amazon, Netflix, Google, and Facebook. The Federal Trade Commission is the actual government body that is suing Facebook, and it's basically calling it a illegal monopolization of social media. So they think that they're becoming way too powerful because they're buying other social media companies. The reason they consider this as a bad thing is because the course of conduct harms competition, leaves consumers with few choices for personal social networking, and deprives advertisers of the benefit of competition. So generally, advertisers prefer competition because that means that other competitors are willing to lower their prices. That way you might choose them instead of the other, and this causes lower prices in the market in general. If it's just one company offering social media advertising, then that would mean that they could charge whatever they want for you to have social media advertising. So that's the point that the FTC is trying to make. And basically, if this change goes through and they're actually able to separate the companies, so they're gonna make WhatsApp another company and Instagram another one, and Oculus, then that would probably mean that the whole fundamental of Facebook will completely change forever. It will never be the same. And this actually brings up a lot of questions. What about other companies that are huge and taking over their industry? What about companies like Amazon, who have often put a lot of retail stores in bankruptcy because they weren't able to adapt to selling online like Amazon did? I don't really think it's fair that they're picking on Facebook, but not other giant companies like Amazon. This will question, how big can a company get? At what point is it a monopolization? Why is it that the government should limit how big a company can grow? Questions like that, moral questions, do come across whenever something like this happens. And let's take a look at this article. So Sandberg, the COO of Facebook, says that the government shouldn't approve mergers and revoke them later. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Why would the government authorize you to buy a company and then later try to say that you're monopolizing the market? It doesn't make sense at all. So I agree on her point that it doesn't make sense that the government is trying to do this now after they approved the merger of Facebook with the other companies. So she argued against the two antitrust lawsuits filed this week for the divestment of Instagram and WhatsApp, saying that Facebook 2012 and 14 acquisitions were already cleared by the US government. So yeah, she has a good point. This doesn't make sense at all, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're actually gonna be able to make this happen, the FTC, by this lawsuit. I'm really curious what's gonna happen, but I don't think Facebook is a great investment if it's just a Facebook platform. I think Instagram and WhatsApp kind of make it what it is now. I mean, obviously, Facebook still does have a lot of users, so it's nice to have, but just the platform by itself, I don't think it's such a great idea, especially from an investment point of view. And what Sheryl Sandberg was also saying is that they do have competitors. It's not just Facebook. She said there's iMessage, there's TikTok, there's Snapchat, which have grown to be very big platforms and very quickly as well. And she mentioned how her kids can't stop posting on Snapchat and TikTok. So yeah, it is an industry that does have competitors. So she makes a good point that they do have competitors. It's not like it's just Facebook in the social media game, and there's also Pinterest as well. But I believe that there should be some sort of limit or some sort of control where the government can help maybe new companies in the social media industry or in the social media market to help them grow and be able to compete with Facebook. But just because they approved the merger or the purchase of WhatsApp and Instagram, I don't think this is something that they should be able to sue them for, because it's not their fault. They actually took the precautions to make it clear that they were buying the company, and the government actually approved it. So why would they sue them after approving them to make this purchase? It doesn't make sense at all to me. So I don't think they deserve to be to have a lawsuit just for this. it doesn't really make sense to me. There should be some sort of control from the government to prevent it from growing too much to the point where any social media company cannot compete. But I don't think it's in terms of limiting the company. I think it's more of helping newer companies be able to compete in the social media industry. So that is just my opinion, but I am curious what you think. Do you think the government can actually separate the companies? And do you think Facebook could actually be successful without WhatsApp and Instagram? Let me know in the comment section down below what your opinion is. Facebook does have a lot of money, so they might be able to buy other companies and build something new. But I'm curious, what do you have to say? This is definitely something very interesting, and I am considering buying my Facebook shares back if the stock drops massively, but I'm probably not gonna do it if they do separate the companies, because part of the reason why I'm very comfortable investing in Facebook is because all the platforms that they do own. So yeah, that's a big decision that I would have to make. I do also want to point out that Facebook is actually turning itself into an ultimate e-commerce game as well. So they're starting to compete with eBay and Amazon, and I do think they have the potential to pull it off. If you haven't noticed, Instagram's latest updates come with a shopping tab where people can post any product, and you can actually buy, like they post a picture with them modeling the product or something like that, and you can actually order and purchase with your credit card the item on Instagram. And they're starting to implement that with Facebook and WhatsApp. So and it's allowing small businesses to set up shops where their customers can easily access them through social media and buy there directly instead of having to go somewhere else. Since they're already in social media most of the time, they might as well implement some sort of shopping feature inside the apps, and that's what Facebook has been doing. And I think it's an absolutely great idea, especially because of how much money they could be making from this. So I'm very glad that they're focusing big time on e-commerce. By the way, this is my Carnival Cruise position. I made a video recently why you should go all in into this stock. I'm still in the process of building this position. I want to have an investment of around $10,000 in this stock. Alright, so there we go, subscribers. That is what's going on with Facebook right now. Let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. Also, leave me a like on this video and make sure you join the Flaming Profits community. We know here that a wage makes you a living, but profits make you a fortune. That is why it's a huge emphasis of us on creating profits in the stock market through investing. Alright, so like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see all of you in the next video. Peace.